What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another FPL video on the channel. And in today's one, we're looking at a wildcard draft for game week 3. Now, I'm not personally using my wildcard this week, but I do know a lot of people within the FPL community are using their wildcard in game week 3. So I thought, why not build a draft and show you guys the team that I would build if I was wildcarding this week. So if you do like the sound of that one, make sure you do smash a big thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But let's waste no more time and let's get straight into it. All right, guys. So straight into the team we go, and first things first, I just want to point out that the scored value of this team is 99.9 million with an extra 0.1 million remaining. Of course, if you've already got some players in this draft in your own team, then you'd probably have a little bit more money remaining in the bank. But yeah, just wanted to make that very clear. But let's get straight into it. In goal, we've got David Raya, and for the back three, we've got Collins, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robinson. And of course, on the bench, we've got Konza and Harwood-Bellis. Now, I'm going to start off talking about David Raya. I think he's the best goalkeeper option, especially if you're going to wildcard as well, guys. If you're going to wildcard, you just want a goalkeeper that you don't have to worry about. For me, Raya is the best set and forget option, and he's playing for the best defensive team in the league. I just think he's a great option. We know how good Arsenal are defensively, guys. They proved it last season, and even at the start of this season as well. 2 games, 2 clean sheets. I just think Raya is a great option. And yes, I know some people may say they got a bit lucky against Aston Villa, but ultimately, we all know that Arsenal are the best defensive team in this league. That's without a doubt. And he's the cheapest route into that Arsenal defense as well at 5.5 million. And another thing that I really love about Raya, which seems to be happening this season, is that he's actually making more saves than last season. So instead of just getting the 6 points, for a clean sheet, he's actually getting an extra point for save points. And then as a result, he's getting an extra bonus point as well, which I really like. And that's been shown in game weeks 1 and 2. You know, he got 9 points in game week 1, 10 points in game week 2. So it even seems like Ray is an even better option than he was last season, because he seems to be making a little bit more saves, and I really do like that. So yeah, for me, I really do love Ray as a pick. He's in my own team. I think he's fantastic. And yes, I know some people may say, well, I don't want to put in Ray because in game weeks 4 and 5 he's got Spurs away and City away. Arsenal might not keep a clean sheet in those games, and that's a fair point. Yes, I do know those 2 games are tough in 4 and 5, but ultimately when you're wildcarding, guys, you want to be thinking more long term. You don't want to be making too many short-term decisions, because then you're going to be in a place where you're making too many transfers, and ideally you don't want to be doing that when you've just wildcarded. So I think, yeah, it's not worth, you know, wasting transfers on a goalkeeper. For me, Raya, number 1 set and forget pick. I would just go for him. But yeah, with the back three, we've got Collins in there, and Collins will play game week 3 against Southampton at home. But then in game weeks 4 and 5, when he's got 2 tough fixtures, he'll be benched for Konza. Konza will come into the team for game week 4 and 5. And the reason why I've gone for Collins is because Brentford have a massive fixture swing in game week 6. Their fixtures get a lot better in game week 6, and that's why I've gone for Nathan Collins. So you're sort of preparing yourself for that fixture swing, and then you also get the good fixture in game week 3 against Southampton at home. But then you're also able to bench him for his tough games in 4 and 5. So I do like Collins. I think Brentford's fixtures are really good from game week 6 onwards, so I think he could be a good pick there. And then of course we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. For me, Trent Alexander-Arnold, if you're wildcarding, he's an absolute must-have, guys. He's an absolute must-have in my opinion. You want to target the fixtures that Liverpool have, because at the moment they are showing that they are one of the best teams in the Premier League. And in game weeks 4 and 5, they got Bournemouth at home and Nottingham Forest at home. 2 brilliant fixtures for Liverpool, and I think Trent can definitely get some attacking returns. He's definitely been unlucky to not already have some attacking returns. He definitely should have a couple of assists already within the first 2 game weeks, but he's been on pretty unlucky, to be fair. But yeah, for me, Liverpool are really good. 2 games, 2 clean sheets as well. They look a lot better defensively. So I'm really confident with that Trent pick. And on the eye test as well, I've been watching Liverpool, and guys, like I said, I can't stress this enough. Trent going forward is just absolutely great, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Words cannot describe how good this man is going forward. So yeah, for me, I think Trent's a must-have, especially if you are wild card. And yes, I know, unfortunately, he's playing against Man United away from home. There is an argument to actually bench Trent against Man United away from home. If you do think Man United will score, there is an argument to bench Trent and actually start Konza, who's got Leicester away. So you could also do that if you wanted to. But yeah, for me, I do think Trent is a great pick. And then we've got Antonee Robinson. I think Fulham, their fixtures from game week 3 onwards are really good. So he's just a great long-term pick in my opinion. Obviously, defensively, Fulham aren't as great as they were sort of last season, because they've obviously lost players like Paulinho and Tosin. But what I do love about Robinson is the attacking threat. The attacking potential this man has is, again, really, really good. And we saw that last game week. Although Fulham did concede at home to Leicester, Robinson created quite a few chances, but also registered an assist, and that's what I do love. That's what I do love about Robinson. Of course, there is the odd potential of a clean sheet, but there is a high potential for some attacking returns in that Fulham system. In the way Fulham play, Robinson does get really, really high up the pitch, puts in great crosses into the box, and links up play well on that left-hand side. So I do like him as a pick, and like I said, the upcoming fixtures for Fulham are really, really good. So of course, you want to target Fulham plays because they have great fixtures. So yeah, that's the back three I would go for. I am a big fan of it. I do think it's a good back line to have and defensive lineup to have on wildcard. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this defense in the comments below. So guys, moving on into the midfield, we've got Mohamed Salah, Cole Palmer, Leon Bailey, Morgan Rogers, and Emil Smith-Rowe. Guys, this is definitely the midfield I would be going for if I was wildcarding. I really, really do love it. We'll start off talking about Mohamed Salah. Of course, we know how good Mohamed Salah is for FPL, man. He is literally the king of this FPL game, honestly, guys. But the fixtures for Liverpool are really, really good, and I want to attack those fixtures by including Liverpool players in this wild card. Yes, of course, it's Man United away in Gameweek 3. Some may say that's a difficult fixture. Some may say it's an easy fixture. I mean, Salah does have a good goal scoring record against Man United, so I wouldn't even be surprised if he does manage to score or assist in that game, because his record against Man United, like I said, is really, really good. But more specifically, guys, in game weeks 4, 5 and 6, even 7 against Crystal Palace is just really, really good fixtures for Liverpool. Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth at home. I think these games in 4 and 5, you would really want to have Salah in, man. I could see Salah scoring big in those games against Nottingham Forest at home and Bournemouth at home. So yeah, I just think long term as well, Salah's a good hold. So yeah, man, we all know Salah's really, really good for FPL, and I just think given the fixtures that Liverpool have coming up, you would ideally want Mohamed Salah in your FPL team, especially if you are wildcarding, guys. So yeah, I would definitely go for him. But we've also got Cole Palmer, man. Cole Palmer, we saw what he did against Wolves. Really, really good performance. 1 goal, 3 assists. I mean, it's just absolutely quality. We know Cole Palmer's going to start. We know he's going to get next to 90 minutes as well, just like Mohamed Salah. That's one thing I really, really do like about Mohamed Salah and Cole Palmer, is that they pretty much do guarantee sort of 80 to 90 minutes. Most of the time, 90 minutes as well. And both players, Cole Palmer and Mohamed Salah, they're on penalties as well. So great, great premium options in my opinion. And again, if I was wildcarding, I definitely would be looking to go for a Chelsea attacker like Cole Palmer, because the fixtures for Chelsea are just simply too good. Again, Crystal Palace at home in Game Week 3, Bournemouth away in Game Week 4, West Ham away in Game Week 5, and then Brighton and Nottingham Forest at home in 6 and 7. I can see Palmer doing really, really well on this run. So again, if I was wildcarding, I'd be looking to get him in your team. I really, really would. But again, that's just my opinion, guys. That is just my opinion. I am no expert. I just love talking about FPL, so you don't have to follow what I say. But again, that's my opinion. And of course, we know the quality player that Cole Palmer is. We know he's a fantastic player. So yeah, I think he's a great option on wildcard. And then we've got Leon Bailey and Morgan Rogers, man. Again, just great options in my opinion. Villa have, in my opinion, I think Aston Villa, not gonna lie guys, I think Aston Villa have the best possible fixtures any team can have in the Premier League for the next 4 game weeks. I'm gonna be honest. Leicester away in Game Week 3 is fantastic. Everton at home in Game Week 4 is fantastic. Wolves at home in Game Week 5 is fantastic. And then in Game Week 6 is Ipswich away from home. These next 4 games are just absolutely incredible, and like I said, I want to attack those good fixtures, guys. So that's why I've gone for Leon Bailey and Morgan Rogers. I mean, Morgan Rogers on the eye test, by the way, guys, he's looking absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Maybe the underlying data isn't that great, you know, he's not got any goals or assists as well. Some people may look at that and think, no, he's not a good option. But guys, for me, the eye test is so important in this game, in my opinion, and for me, Morgan Rogers has passed that. What I also love about Morgan Rogers is that he gets 90 minutes. He's got 90 minutes back to back, which is absolutely fantastic. So he's got 90 minutes. He's got arguably the best fixtures any team can have in the next 4 games, and he's playing in that number 10 position right behind the striker. For me, Morgan Rogers is absolutely fantastic, and only costing 5 million as well. I think he's honestly a great option. So yeah, I will be going for Morgan Rogers, guys. I'm not gonna lie, and to be fair, he was actually really unlucky not to get an assist against Arsenal. I mean, Watkins should have really scored that chance. But yeah, I also think Leon Bailey is a great option as well. Of course, last season he was doing really well, and you know, his minutes are going to increase because Diaby has left, so you'd expect him to play more, get more minutes. And you know, again, with these easy fixtures that Aston Villa do have, I think Leon Bailey will definitely get some attacking returns. So at the price of 6.5 million, I think Leon Bailey is a really good option. And yeah, that's why I've gone for that double up, by the way, guys. Obviously, I've gone for the 2 Aston Villa midfielders because like I said, I think Aston Villa have some of the easiest fixtures for the next 4. So that's why I've doubled up with Leon Bailey and Morgan Rogers. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments. But we'll move on to Smith Rowe. Like when I was talking about Robinson, guys, I love the fixtures that Fulham do have. And again, for me, when you're wildcarding, you have to take into account fixtures. Obviously, yes, you also have to take into account form, 100%. But also you have to take into account fixtures. And I love the fixtures that Fulham have. And Smith Rowe also is technically on form. He got a goal in the last game, and I do think he's a good option at the price of 5.6 million. The only problem is with Smith Rowe is that what I would say is that you don't expect him to get 90 minutes. At the moment, he is getting subbed off relatively early. If I have a quick check, he's got subbed off in both games, in the first 2 games against Manchester United and Leicester at home. He got subbed off in the first game 63 minutes in, and against Leicester 68 minutes in. So I think he's still slowly building up his fitness. So I would just say, if you do go for Smith Rowe, just don't expect those 90-minute performances because he probably won't get them. But yeah, I do like Smith Rowe as an option. I think he's a great cheap enabler. So yeah, I would definitely recommend him. But let me know what you guys do think of this midfield. Let's go ahead and move on to the forward positions. All right, guys. So to finish off the team, we've got Erling Haaland and Rodrigo Menez, and we're gonna start off talking about Rodrigo Menez firstly because yes, I know he hasn't returned any goals or assists in the first 2 game weeks. All right. In game week 1, I'm not going to lie, he didn't really have a lot of chances created for him. But in game week 2, that wasn't the case. In game week 2, he had enough chances created for him where he really should have put the ball in the back of the net. He really should have scored. I mean, there was a chance where Robinson had the ball on the left-hand side. He whipped in a beautiful cross towards the back post. Rodrigo Menez got his head to it, and he should have scored, but he put it wide. There was also another chance where I think it was Adama Traore pulled it back to Menez, and he basically skied it, hit it over the bar. But one thing I'll say is that the chances are being created for Rodrigo Menez. The chances are being created for him, which is a good sign. That's the first step. Now, the second step is just to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think last season, Rodrigo Menez did show that he's capable of doing that. He is capable of being quite a good finisher. So I think the goals will come. I really do think the goals will come, guys. He's also got some decent underlying data in terms of expected goal involvement. For example, he's got an expected goal involvement of 0.71, which is pretty good, and most of that is from actually expected goals because his expected goals is 0.69, his expected assist is 0.02, so his goal threat is really high. He's getting a lot of shots off in the box as well, and that's what I do like about Rodrigo Menez, okay, is he's getting the chances, guys. For example, he's had 9 goal attempts in the box, and I think that's very strong considering we've only had 2 games. All right, so the underlying data is there to support Rodrigo Menez still being quite a good pick. It's just about him now putting the ball in the back of the net, like I said, and yeah, I think he can do that. So I wouldn't go cold on Menez just yet. I still think he's quite a good option. And then, of course, we've got Erling Haaland. And what do I really need to say about this guy, man? We know that he's a quality player. We know that he scores goals for fun. But for me, I think if you're wildcarding, you should really be putting in Erling Haaland. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you don't put Haaland in on this wildcard, it's going to be very hard for you to get Haaland in for game week 7. And I'm going to guarantee that you're probably going to want Erling Haaland for game week 7 when he's got Fulham at home, in game week 8, Wolves away, in game week 9, Southampton at home, then Bournemouth away, then Brighton away, then Spurs at home. Guys, the fixtures from about game week 7 to 12 are really strong for Erling Haaland. So I think just get him in now because he's also got a couple of easy fixtures playing against West Ham away and Brentford at home. So I think just get him in early so you don't have to worry about getting him in later on down the line. That's just my opinion, especially if you are wildcarding. And then if you want impressive Haaland, at least you've got enough to afford any player that you want in the game. So for me, I would start with Haaland because I'm probably guessing you're going to want to own Haaland from game week 7 onwards. And also we know Haaland is a great captaincy option as well. So for me, if I was wildcarding, I certainly would be going for him. But obviously on the bench, guys, we've got Ezri Konsa, Fabianski in goal, by the way, just a 4 million goalkeeper, probably won't see the light of day, especially when we've got Raya in goal. But we've also got Harwood Bellis, who might come in every now and then if you've got any injuries, and then Jebison, who probably won't play too much at all. But guys, we are not done here yet. We're going to head over to planfpl.com to have a look at how this team will be looking in the next 4 to 5 to 6 game weeks, all right? So let's go have a look and see what transfers we'd also be making along the way. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're on planfpl.com and we're going to have a look at how the team's going to be looking for like the next 5 to 6 game weeks. So of course, this is the team in game week 3. We've already seen this, so we'll go on to game week 4. Now, in game week 4, the only thing that you would be doing is taking out Collins and bringing in Konsa at home, who's playing against Everton at home. All right, so you wouldn't be making any transfers. The team is set up in a way where you can roll the transfer for game week 4, and everyone has a really good fixture. And this team looks so strong, in my opinion. I know we've got 3 Fulham, 3 Aston Villa. Some people might think that's crazy, but guys, I'm just attacking the teams that have good fixtures. So yeah, I really do like it. So yeah, we roll the transfer and we'd move on to game week 5, and once again the team would stay exactly the same. It wouldn't change. No one comes off the bench. Their starting 11 would literally stay the same again, and once again everyone does have really good fixtures. I guess Raya and Erling Haaland have tough fixtures as they're playing against each other as well, but ultimately both Erling Haaland and Raya are long-term picks. So yeah, we shouldn't really focus too much on the short term, and at the end of the day, you just simply can't get the perfect team every single week. So yeah, at least the players around them have good fixtures, as you guys can see here. But we'll move on to game week 6 now, and this is where things kind of get juicy, guys. This is where things start to change, because as you notice, we don't have any Arsenal attackers, but that's about to change. That is about to change. We're going to go for the high upside picks, and instead of going for 2 Arsenal defenders and 1 attacker, we're going to go for 2 Arsenal attackers, and obviously we've already got Raya in goal. So we're chasing the high upside picks here, and we're going to take out Mohamed Salah, we're going to take out Rodrigo Muniz, and we're doing that to fund Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz. All right, guys, so they're the first transfers that you're going to make on this wild card after you've rolled you've saved up 3 transfers, and then bang, you're bringing in the Arsenal assets for their brilliant fixtures, as you guys can see here in game weeks 6, 7 and 8. So in game week 6 it's Leicester at home, then Southampton at home, then Bournemouth away. You absolutely must have Arsenal players for these games, and that's exactly why we're bringing in Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz here. So yeah, in game week 6 the team once again is looking very strong with these changes. We've still got an extra transfer with 0.6 remaining in the bank, but I don't think there's any pressing issues that we need to solve in this team. So for now, I would just save that transfer and again move on to game week 7. So now in game week 7, I guess this is where you could say things get a little bit sticky. Right, things get a little bit sticky because Smith Rowe has Man City away, and Robinson has Man City away, and Konsa has Man United at home. But the good thing is, we've got Collins, and this is exactly why we've got Collins. So we bring in Collins for Robinson. Robinson goes to the bench, guys. And yes, I know Konsa playing against Man United ideally isn't the best fixture, but I think for this week we play him because in game week 7, I think the one player you would probably want to bring in is someone like Mbeumo. And then since we need to free up about 0.8 million, I'd probably take out Trent Alexander-Arnold for Gvardiol. And then the team is looking pretty decent. I actually don't think the triple Villa against Man United is as bad as it seems. In all honesty, I think Man United will concede chances. So I could see Morgan Rogers and Leon Bailey maybe getting some returns. But Konsa may concede in that game, who knows. But like I said, you can't really get the perfect team every week, and I think for game week 7 this team is looking really strong with the triple Arsenal, the double City, the double Brentford as well at home to Wolves, Cole Palmer at home to Nottingham Forest. So I think this team has high potential. But yeah, I don't want to keep going on and on, obviously, guys. Don't want to keep you here forever, but that's sort of what I would do for like the first 4 or 5 weeks with that team, with that wildcard team. So yeah, That is going to be it though. I hope you guys did enjoy this wildcard draft video, and let me know down below in the comments, what do you rate this draft out of 10, and are you even using the wildcard this week? Let me know. And if you are wildcarding, what sort of plays do you have in mind to put in your Game Week 3 wildcard? Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below in the comments. But nonetheless, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, smash a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and guys, I'll catch you in the next video. But until then, I'm out. Peace.